Hi, Mochismo Eugene. Welcome to another video from Exit Strategy. Please like, subscribe, share, give a thumbs up if you found this video helpful, and pass it on if you believe someone else would benefit from it. I'd appreciate that. Guys, I want to talk a little bit about focus and when things don't align in life, specifically with a relationship that is seemingly unfixable, irretrievable, irreconcilable. I want to discuss how we must understand when things don't align. We must know when to just cease and desist. And I'm going to draw off of something I was doing here just a few minutes ago. I had anticipated doing another video, another subject. I will later maybe. But for now, I think this is hard pressed on me to take you guys down the road of knowing when something does not align with where you are going. And I'm not talking about, excuse me. I'm not trying to give the impression that you should just pull the plug on a relationship simply because certain things are not going the way you want them to go. Because speaking of empaths, I'd like to believe that most of us are not self-centered. We're not on an agenda. We are open-minded to other people's ideas, their wants, their beliefs, their feelings. We're very considerate when it comes to that. Sometimes we may not always wholeheartedly see everything we need to see, and we don't hear everything we need to hear within that conversation or that debate or dynamic. But we're still able to revisit that with our partners and relationships and continue to press on towards trying to grow. Essentially, as you know, the narcissist does not have this capability, that they don't have the capacity to do these type of things I just said. And so I'm going to draw off of something I was just trying to do here with some glasses. I really don't wear glasses, sunglasses, or not sunglasses, sorry. I don't wear prescription. I've told the story before. You see me with glasses on. Sometimes you see me in multiple different kinds of glasses, most of which I acquired. They're just general specs readers, and some of them are heavily magnified. So they're all different strengths, which is probably not good. But I acquired a lot of these, but now I'm tending to buy a lot of them from Lowe's and Home Depot and Walmart, wherever I am. And I'm spending like $5 a pair because I tend to want the ones that have the flex to them. These don't have the spring. So I'm going to illustrate to you what I believe is very, very important for us to understand when we're in a narcissistic personality disorder relationship. These glasses, these are one of the better types, or the better ones that I tend to like. I don't care about the colors, the purple and all that good stuff. They're magnified in a strength where they don't seem to create a lot of strain on my eyes. And this is a relationship, okay? Use these glasses as a relationship with the narcissist. We're in relationships that are seemingly healthy, with a few issues going down the line with someone, not a narcissist, of course. With these glasses, these are seemingly appropriate for my eyes. So they're a good pair. I'm willing to do the things that are necessary to try to hold on to these glasses here. I could buy a new pair. I could get a new relationship, but I want to continue to keep what is already okay. It just needs some minimal amount of repair or attention. And this is a healthy relationship with a few ups and downs. So I went on to try to address what was going on, and the handles tend to become sloppy. And I have this screwdriver here. This is a nice And as I talk about this, I'm going to tell you where I got this from. I got this from Home Depot. If you guys are ever in Home Depot over in the tool section, you who all that wear glasses, and you know most of the time you go and you try to find these mini screwdrivers, no, most of the time you have to get 5 or 6 in a pack. This is, I think this was like $2 or $3, so I bought 3 or 4 of them. I even gave some to friends. So you take this off and you have the Phillips there. You can pull this in out and you have the flat, mini flat, and you put the cap there, and you can take this one off and you have a wider flat head, and you put that one off and you have a wider Phillips. So essentially you have, I think 4, that's 4. I don't know if there's any more in there. So you have 4 screwdrivers in one. And this is specifically for, you know, very, very like electronics. You would use this. So these are like $2-3. Stanley makes it, Home Depot. So I attempted to try to tighten this handle up. And this is what you do in a relationship with a narcissist. You tend to address the problems because you believe, or any relationship, but we're talking narcissists before we knew they were narcissists. And even some relationships that some of you all are still in, knowing that this person is possibly very well a narcissist, but you want to salvage it. I'm going to show you where when things don't align, you must understand that you just have to cease and desist. And so this particular side was loose. And so what I decided to do, I started addressing it or assessing it, and I can see, I said to myself, man, this is probably bent outward, this area here. I don't know if you can see it. It's bent outwardly. That right there. That's bent outward. And so what I began to do, I said, wow, I'm going to take care of this. This should solve the problem. So you address problems with narcissists or anybody in a relationship, and you say, hey, this is a problem. And you figure on attempting to address this, you're getting closer to rectifying the problem. So I said, okay, I'll squeeze these a little bit I'll squeeze them in a little bit. So what you begin to do in that relationship, you begin to address these issues with them, and you begin to tighten things up with the relationship. You say, well, okay, I'll do this, because they call you out on stuff too, and that's give and take. And they say, well, you know what? Okay, if you feel like I'm spending a little bit too much money here, have you considered this or that and other? And so you come to some kind of common denominator. And this is what I did in squeezing this together. So I'm all excited, and I'm going to tell you guys, this was nerve-wracking as hell here. But you're willing to go the distance with that relationship because you're not ready to throw that relationship away. I could easily replace the glasses. And some of these people out here, they go out and they replace you. Narcissists specifically, they easily replace you because they don't have the mindset that you have of, listen, this is not that big of a deal. It's not that much damage here. It's only a minimal situation here. It's not nothing that can't be fixed. That's you. You're thinking about this in that way. Narcissists don't. So I squeezed it together and I went to put this handle back here. And you can't see it. Maybe you can. Just by me squeezing that together, I extracted that screw. And some way or another, this hole does not align. And for the life of me, it doesn't make logical sense. This is when you're trying to salvage a relationship. You've sat down and had that conversation. You are in hopes that, okay, that went well. But you don't see any results from that conversation with that narcissist that you had in that relationship. You don't know the narcissist, by the way. This is post-awaken. And so you began to see that, wow, why isn't this aligning? Why isn't this relationship getting any better? I thought what we did, sitting down, talking, we aligned things and we buttoned everything up. We tightened everything up. We got everything out on the table. So When I began to see that this didn't align, it didn't make sense to me, and it still doesn't. I don't have any idea why this is not aligning, because the hole is not, it's not just a little bit off, it's way off. But more importantly, this screw, which I've lost now, I've misplaced it. It's on the floor in the kitchen somewhere, but that's beside the point. I went over and beyond, and I willed myself to search for it for, I don't know, 2 or 3 minutes. That wasn't as nerve-wracking as trying to get the screw in, because what I did was, I wish I had the screw. It was so small. I began, and I got some crazy glue or some Gorilla Glue, and I dabbed the end of this, because it just would not, I could not, I'm not that shaky, but I was when it began to do something very tedious. My hand started to do like that. And so this is what happens when you're in a relationship with a narcissist, when you attempt to try to fix some of the problems through conversation. You begin to shake. You begin to start acting out of pocket. You know why? Because what they're doing is giving you word salad. They are gaslighting you. They are deflecting. They are becoming very difficult and making this conversation not being able to align. They're not in alignment with you, is what I'm getting at, guys. They are not in alignment with you from the get-go. Unlike these glasses, they were, the screw was in, and you are seemingly in line with the narcissist when you meet them. But once you get invested with them, you began to see that you don't align. Now, as I began to understand that this was not aligning, and the only thing I did was squeeze these together. Now, you may say, well, expand it back out. Expand it back out and it'll align. But I see metal preventing it from laying up against there. It just does not make logical sense why this is not going back. It came out, but it wouldn't go back. So that was nerve-wracking to do that. But what I did, and my point for using that as an analogy to this conversation, I willed myself to try to put that screw back in. As nerve-wracking as it was, as tedious as it was, I began to continue to do that. And at one point, I didn't have this clamp. I have this here to illustrate too, because I was actually trying to put it in here, and I was trying to hold this. Can you imagine? I'm trying to do all of this, and then I got the screw, a little crazy glue on there. At some point, I discovered it wasn't gonna hold by itself. I dabbed some glue on there, and I held it on there, and I was going, and it just would not align. And I used this to hold the glasses in there. I wrapped the washcloth around these so it wouldn't, scratch them up. And, so I used a lot of different approaches to trying to put that screw in. I didn't just give up. And impasse, we choose to do this in life. We do this in life with a lot of things. We don't just give up. We problem solve, we critical think. It's just not the way we're built to just desert a situation. And so that transcends into our relationships as well. We don't just, we want to make things better in life with regards to people and things. That's what we came here for. That's what God designed us to do and be. And so it came a point when I said, well, these glasses, I like them. And I can literally wear them with just one like that if I chose to. Or I could get a handle from all the other pairs I got and find one that will align. That's the wind again, guys. Still windy in upstate New York. I don't know where we're getting it, probably from some of the tropical storms. I don't know what's going on in the world per se. I don't watch TV, but on my phone, I'm sure if I Googled it, I'll discover what's going on. So I just decided to just, pull the plug on trying to repair these glasses. And I might discover the screw. But with a narcissist and a relationship, unlike sunglasses or glasses, it's people are not things. Narcissists would have thrown this pair of glasses away. Some of them are cheapskates, though. They will hold on to something like this. But people are treated like things, and things are treated like people. I once read a quote. I'm going to paraphrase it. The world would be a better place when people start loving people and using things rather than using people and loving things. So that stuck with me. And that's how the narcissist, that's the sheer definition of a narcissist. They use people and love things. They love things and use people. And so I said, man, this is one of the better pair of glasses, but it's not that big of a deal. There are more important things in life. And this is you. You are willing to go the distance in that relationship. You're willing to let those little offenses go in that relationship. And looking back, there were more than just little offenses. And we're talking about when you were involved with the narcissist, and you all are still invested with a narcissist. This is fun facts for you to determine that you are in fact involved with a narcissist. If you can reminisce without trying, you don't have to go years back. You could just go probably a few weeks back, a few months back, less than a year, and you can see a systematic pattern that this person, every time they did this to you to offend you, you found that they did something to rectify it. It wasn't a sit down conversation for sure. They snowed you over with a comment or two like, hey, I love you, girl, don't do that. Come on, we got children together. If this is a female narcissist, you just gonna leave the kids and me like that? These are the guilt trips that they will play on you. But again, with the glasses, I decided to just pull the plug on that because it was nerve-wracking to begin with, but I still stuck it out. Even in that relationship with those narcissists, it was nerve-wracking as hell. And again, this is one other point. I want to point this out. I could do a whole new video on this before I close. When you are doing such things, like say, for example, if I was trying to get that screw back in that those glasses like I was here by myself, if that narcissist I was married to, I'm divorced now, by the way, guys, it's final. So, and I did a video about that. After 5 years of being gone, I'm finally free. Because if you don't know it, if you're married to a narcissist, if you should go to the hospital and you're on life support, they can actually say that you told them you wanted them to pull the plug. You didn't want to be on life support. I talk about that a lot. That's how much leverage they have over you if you're still legally married to them. You do want to get divorced as soon as possible. ASAP. I didn't, because I anticipated that she would get a new supply and she would do the dirty work for me. And I patiently waited. It took 5 years, but she did it. Just like I plotted for her to leave my house by staying away from my own house a couple of days straight, sleeping in my car, slept in a hotel one night of the 3 nights. After the 3rd night, she was gone. Okay, but I digress. Back to what I'm saying. If I was doing those glasses and repairing those glasses and a narcissist was in your house or in your space, they do everything they can when you're concentrated on something. Say you're passionate about something. You're in the garage or you're doing knitting. You're doing some type of sewing. You're doing some art. You're doing some needlework. You're watching a show at home. You're anything that you're concentrated on, and they can see that you have a peace about yourself, that they see that you're having a very, very peaceful, zenful experience, they will come in and invade and aggravate that situation. Think back on some of the things that you used to do. You could be just sitting there, just got off of work. All you're doing is just sitting there for a few minutes, trying to gather yourself. I guarantee you, if you look back, that narcissist came in and they saw and they observed and they read the energy that, wow, this person is in their happy place. I guarantee you that they invaded that happy place, because chaos can't stand peace. Chaos cannot tolerate peace. That's why it's chaos. Chaos loves chaos. Peace loves peace. They don't align with one another. So get this, guys. You have to align with the energy around you. And then if it's not aligning with you and you've done everything within your power to try to create and stimulate alignment, just like those glasses, there's probably more I could do to try to fix and see if those glasses will align. But to be honest with you, is it worth it? That being said, bless.